Checking in now with all the latest news out of the River Murray Netball Association, and as per usual, our correspondent from the league, Hannah Loller, is joining me now to give us all the updates. Hannah, welcome to the show. How's it going?
Yeah, going well, Dan. Yes, lovely to be with you.
Excellent. Lovely to have you here. Now we'll start off with Country Champs. We've heard from a couple of the other leagues as well. So how did the River Murray Association go over the long weekend?
Dan, I think all the teams who played would be pretty happy with their, with how they went. At the end of the day, Country Champs is about playing lots of games, lots of friendship, your skill development by playing lots of games, and it's not all about the medals at the end. I think the memories of people from Country Champs are obviously fairly prominent because lots of people also come back and watch even when they don't have people participating. So the girls had lots of support on the sidelines, which is fabulous. But as for netball, I'll run it through. So our girls came out, and our flag bearer was Olivia Eldridge, who's a IMPS player, and she was co-captain of the 17s and really deserving to be the person to be nominated as the flag bearer because she had a fabulous weekend of netball. The 17s girls ended up fourth in their pool, which put them into the Division 1 finals, which is a great effort. So they came up against Western Border in the final and lost there, but nice opportunity to play on centre court at the stadium and have their game televised, so people who couldn't, or live streamed, I should say. So people who couldn't make it still got to see their granddaughters on the netball court in that final. Some good wins, lost to some of the stronger teams, but a Division 1 final, always a good outcome. In the 15s, again, they finished fourth in the pool. Again, they came up against Western Border in their first final and lost that one. But, again, great credit to the girls for getting themselves into that Div 1 final. The 15-2, like the second team, the B team, also finished fourth. Fourth was a good place for the River Murray over the weekend, and they lost their final to the Southern Hills. Our youngest, the 13s there, got one win and finished third in their division, and then there was the 11s who had their opportunities on the Saturday. So good all-round representation. The girls all, represented the league, the association, really well, and it was good to see a couple of umpires from our region also got badged, because that's another thing that happens over Country Champs weekend. Good to see some umpire development as well.
All right, it sounded like a successful weekend all in all, and it's good to hear those umpires getting a shout-out. Congratulations to them. Of course, they don't always get the recognition or the credit they deserve, but the game doesn't happen without them, so good for them. Very happy to hear that news. Of course, with Country Champs now in the rearview mirror, we're looking forward to round 9 in the River Murray Netball Association, looking at the halfway point of the season. So we'll get straight into the action with the Southern Suns taking on Mannum. Top 4 clash here, Suns in 3rd, Mannum in 4th. Should be a very tight one.
I think this is going to be a great tussle. I have, in preparing for this report, I have oscillated over which team might take the points. Interestingly, over at Lamoureux, they're having a big freeze day, so they've got nominations for people who will need to take the plunge. If people dig deep into their pockets and support different ones, I think 5 people are going to be plunged into a nice ice bath. So good fun day over at Lamoureux. I think it'll be a bit tougher on the court, though. I'm predicting Mannum in a very tight one. I think it'll come down to whose mid-court takes control most, because I think both their attacks and defences are strong, but I'm going to tip Mannum by 1 or 2 goals.
Well, it sounds like that's going to be a great game, but more importantly, that's going to be a great event with the big freeze taking place. Of course, we've seen the success that the AFL have had with that and the massive amount of money they've raised for an unbelievable cause, but this is the side of it you don't see as much, the trickle-down effect it's having at local sporting level. So, yeah, really keen to hear about that next week, and I'll be hoping all of that goes well and there's a lot of money raised. We'll move on to our next game where we've got the Ramblers hosting Jervois. So 1 win each for the season here. Someone's going to notch up win number 2.
Yeah, it's and both teams can play great netball. Ramblers, missed getting their second win only by a goal the other week. I'm going to tip Jervois in a tight one. Maybe controversially, but I'm going to say Jervois are going to travel to Ramblers but get the points in this one.
Okay, so the round's kicking off with 2 games featuring teams right next to each other on the ladder and with equal win-loss records. So you'd think one of them will probably be match of the round and they should be really good, close contests. Our next game, maybe not quite the same story, with the Coorong Cats sitting on bottom of the ladder at 1-6. They're taking on the Mallee Storm, who are sitting in 5th at 3-4, really needing to get a win to keep in touch with that top 4. They're 2 games behind Mannum at the moment.
They do need that win, and I think they'll get it. The Storm girls will be very comfortable and feel right at home on those courts at Canalpin. So that game's at Canalpin. They're used to playing there. I think the team's pretty settled. They'll have young Jess Kerr, who played down at Country Champs and played really well. She'll be raring to get back on the court for the Storm after her 9 games down in Adelaide, and I think, Storm will get that one quite easily.
And the Imps have the bye. They're going to be the last team on the bye. So after this round, everyone will have played everyone and we'll get a good idea of who's sitting where on the table. But we do have one more game this week, and that's going to be Maipo hosting Tailem Bend.
Yeah, Maipo sitting nicely up the top of the ladder, and Tailem have had a couple of wins, but I think this one will be a stretch for the Eagles girls. I think the Eagles girls are enjoying their netball. They've got a lovely team that are playing well, and they're improving every week. Maipo will be just too strong, and it might be a bit of a margin, but everyone will enjoy the occasion, I'm sure, and the Eagles girls will head back to Tailem and have their Eagle ball afterwards, and I don't think they'll be celebrating a win, but they'll still enjoy the night.
All right, so we've got the big freeze, we've got the Eagle Bowl, we've got a massive weekend in round 9 of the River Murray Netball Association. Hannah, thanks for joining us and giving us all the news and updates. Looking forward to catching up again next week, but first of all, make sure you enjoy the netball this weekend.
Will do, Dan, and it'll be good to take that midpoint of our season reflection next week when we catch up, because it'll be the end of that first round done. So we'll have a good idea of where the ladder sits.
Absolutely. Looking forward to catching up next week with that.
Thanks, Dan. Bye.